الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم تسليما كثيرا وبعد. We give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for making it possible for us to produce today's lecture. We pray may He accept it from us as an act of worship. Ameen. Today we are still on the topic of Sukun, and we'll be treating some matters relating to Sukun, some engaging matters relating to a Sukun. In the last class, we discussed that Sukun, when it is being found on a letter, such a letter will be, we have to pause a little bit. We have to relax on that letter a little bit before we proceed with our recitation. But today, we have a little bit matters to discuss on this same topic, that is As-Sukun. And this matter is that if you should look at the page from 42 of the book, as you can see on the right hand side of the screen, As-Sukun, in this first box here, we have a new alif in front of us, which should not come across before now. This alif is not alif, it is Hamzah. We've discussed that alif, Hamzah can be written on alif. It can also be written on waw, likewise yaw. But in this case, we have alif in which something like sword, sword is being written on this alif. So this is Hamzah. It is called Hamzah, but it's not ordinary Hamzah. Rather, it is called Hamzatul-wasl. Is it Hamzatul-wasl? It's called Hamzatul-wasl. It has some rulings attached to it. Then after this Hamzatul-wasl, we have lam. This lam has Sukun. So this is the new topic that we'll be treating today, and some other topics. So we want to treat how to pronounce this type of Hamzatul-wasl followed by lam that has Sukun. In some rulings, there are some rulings attached to it in which I've tried to shortlist them out on this class for today. So I say that part of the ways in which Sukun is being used is for it to come alongside with alif and lam. So this alif and lam is the Hamzatul-wasl followed by the lam that has Sukun. So in this case, it has some rulings. There are some rules attached to alif and lam. One is that when it is at the beginning of a word, that is this Hamzatul-wasl and lam that has Sukun, if they are being found at the beginning of a word, then the Hamzah will be pronounced. We have to pronounce the Hamzah as A. Just where we pronounce Hamzah Fatha A. That is the same way this Hamzatul-wasl will be pronounced. It will be pronounced as A. Such Hamzah is called Hamzatul-wasl. So in this, let's pronounce it. Let's see. So we have something like this Hamzah. Let's spell it to be like Hamzah Fatha A. But in pronunciation it is A. So it will be Al A. Can you see it? Al, because after the Hamzatul-wasl we have lam Sukun, then followed by Hamzah Fatha A. So it will be pronounced as Al At, Al At Qa, Al At Qa. It will be the same thing. Albu, Albu, Wuji, Al-Buruji, Al-Gawuna, Al-Gawuna, Al-Ha, Ruru, Al-Haruru. So whenever you see this type of Hamzatul-wasl followed by lam that has Sukun, they will be pronounced as Al, A-L, Al. So here we have what? Al-Jam'ani, Al-Jam'ani, Al-Kabiru, Al-Wadudu, Al-Khaliqu. This is Kha. The Kha has Fatha because after the Kha we have Alif al-Mad. So that means Alif al-Mad works with Fatha, even if it is not written. but we know that it is fatha because after the kha we have alif al-mad, and we've discussed that alif al-mad works with fatha. So kasra cannot come in this place. Likewise, dhamma cannot also come in this place. So it will be al-khaliqu, al-fu'adu. This is Hamzah that is being written on waw. So it's not waw, it is Hamzah. Al-fu'ada. Sorry. Al-fu'ada. Al-akifu. Al-qari'atu. This is ta, dhamma 2. Al-qari'atu. Al-malu. Al-hawa. Al-yahudu. Al-yawmu. Al-khawfu. This is one that have sukun. Al-khawfu. Al-waqi'atu. Al-maliku. This is mim, then lam kasra li. Al-maliku. Al-jahimu. Al-karimu. So the first law or the first ruling is what we've discussed on this first part of the alif and lam. So the next one, these boxes that you can see here, these 6 boxes, there are some rulings to it also, which is number 2. I say that when the hamza is found in the middle of a word, it will be omitted. So this Hamzatul-wasl, as you can see here, is not at the beginning, rather it is in the middle, right? So that means since it is found in the middle of a word, then in pronunciation we are to omit this hamza. It will be removed. It won't be pronounced because it is found in the middle of a word. So we are to remove this Hamzatul-wasl and we are to recite it without saying ah. So the hamza here has no use in this place. So here we have wahadha, right? So one will ask, how I want to join wahadha alongside with this? One may ask like that. So there is a third ruling on this also. As you can see that we are moving forward. So as we are moving forward, the matters is becoming stronger. So this 3, I say that 3, if a letter with sukun comes after any among the 3 types of mad, then the mad will be omitted. What does that mean? It means that if you have a letter that has sukun, like this for example, lam, initially this hamza, it has no use now, right? Because it is in the middle of a word. So let's assume that the Hamzatul-wasl has been removed. Now we have lam that has sukun. If a letter with sukun comes after any among the 3 types of mad, in this place we have al-mad, alif al-mad, right? Then followed by lam that has sukun. Then the mad will be omitted. Then we have to remove this alif in pronunciation. So that means we have to remove Hamzatul-wasl. Why? Because it is in the middle of a word. Likewise, we are also to remove this alif, this mad, alif al-mad. Why? Because a letter that has sukun, which is lam, it comes after it. So initially in pronunciation it will be wahadha. If we have to stop, we'll pronounce the alif al-mad, wahadha. But if we want to attach this word with the next one after it, then it will be wahadhal, wahadhal lam, wahadhal, and it will not be wahadhal. No, it is wrong. We will not pronounce this alif. It will be omitted. So it's as if you have the fatha, the, lam sukun dhal. So it will be wa hadhal baladi. Wa hadhal baladi. Hope you can see that. So this will be wa hadhal baladi. Here too we have Hamzatul-wasl in the middle of a word to be removed. It will be removed. Then we have to join this dal kasra d alongside with the lam sukun. So it will be dil. Dil. So we have wa hadhal baladil. Wa hadhal baladil. Hamza fatha a. Amini. Amini. So in pronunciation, if you have to pronounce them all together, it will be wa hadhal baladil amini. I'll go again. Wa hadhal baladil amini. So this place is a little bit technical, but if you should put your concentration, it will be easy. And the next one also is the same thing. Here we have sanasimuhu, right? Ala, lam and alif al-mad. Ala sanasimuhu ala. All these are examples from the Quran. This is how the Quran is being written and how the Quran is being recited. If you want to recite it actually in the right way possible, this is how it will be recited. So it will be ala. Now we have Hamzatul-wasl in the middle of a word in which we have to omit it, as we all know. Then followed by lam that has sukun. Lam that has sukun, it comes after the alif al-mad, right? So that means we have to remove this alif al-mad. So it will not be pronounced as ala again if you want to join it with the next word. So it will be alal, alal, khutumi, alal khutumi, sanasimuhu alal khutumi. So it will be sanasimuhu alal khutumi. And the next we have kadhalika. Kadhalika. Nun, jim, zai and ya. Najzi, right? Najzi. Hamzatul-wasl, it will be removed. Then lam that has sukun, then we have to remove this ya ul mad. So we have to insert this zai kasra z with the lam sukun, and it will be zil. So we have najzil, najzil, kadhalika najzil, muhsinina, muhsinina, kadhalika najzil muhsinina. Here we have dhalika huwa. We have to remove Hamzatul-wasl, so we have to insert the huwa with the lam sukun. So it will be dhalika huwal, huwal fawzu. Here too, we have to insert the zain, the muzu with the lam. We'll join them together. So it will be zul. Dhalika huwal fawzul azimu. Dhalika huwal fawzul azimu. Yeah. We have فأكثروا فيها. We have lam sukun, so we have to insert the ha with the lam. So it will be فيها فيها الفساد. فأكثروا فيها الفساد. And here we have يضاعف lahumul lam sukun lahumul adhabu yudha'afu lahumul adhabu. So the practice, inshallah, it will be easy. We pray in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us all. At the next page, now we'll be taking the next page according to the laws that we've discussed just now. So let's take them. So in this first page, all these two are examples from the Quran. All these are being derived from the Quran. So here we have وَلَا تَحْزَنْ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا تَحْزَنْ عَلَيْهِمْ. Before we proceed with this page, after we've discussed the first two laws on Sukun, one is that the Hamzatul-wasl will be removed if it is found in the middle of a word. Two is if a letter with Sukun is to come after any of the three types of mad, then we have to remove the mad, we have to omit it in pronunciation. And the third rule on Sukun is that we have 5 letters in Arabic, in which if Sukun is to be placed on any of these 5 letters, we will not give such letter the rulings of Sukun, rather it will be changed. We all know that Sukun, if it is to be placed on a letter, you have to relax on that letter. You have to pause a little bit on that letter. But there are 5 exceptions. There are 5 letters that have been exempted from these laws, in which if Sukun is to be placed on them, in Qur'an recitation, we are not to pause on those 5 letters. Rather, we will pronounce those letters as if they are Fatha. As if they are Fatha. But not totally like Fatha, but as if they are Fatha. By example, this will be clear. These are the letters. These are the 5 letters. Qa, Ta, Ba, Jim, and Dal. So if Sukun is to be on these 5 letters, we are to pronounce them as if they have Fatha, and we are not to pause on them. That is if you are reciting the Quran. But in reciting any books on Arabic language, we are to pause on these 5 letters if Sukun is to be on them. But in the Quran, we will not pronounce them with the rulings of Sukun. Rather, we will pronounce them as if they have Fatha. Let's say, for example, we have let's say we have some letters that have Sukun. Let's say, for example, we have Hamzah Fatha A. Then let's use the first one, which is Qa. Qa is Sukun. Then followed by Jim. Jim, Duma, Ju. So in pronouncing this, you have Hamzah Fatha A. Qa Sukun. Initially, it's supposed to be Ak, right? Ak, Ju. But now, let's assume that this example is from the Quran. We will not pronounce it as Aqju. Rather, we will give the Qa as if it has Fatha. So it will be Aqju. 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 That's how it will be pronounced. It's supposed to be Aqju like this. But since it is among the 5 letters, in Quran recitation, it will be pronounced as Aqju. Is how it will be pronounced. Aqju. Let's take another example. Let's say we have Mim Fatha Ma, and followed by Ba Sukun, then followed by Fa Fatha Fa. This, we all know this to be Mabfa, right? This is Mabfa. But in Quran recitation, this Mabfa will not be pronounced as Mabfa. Rather, in pronunciation, we'll pronounce it as if the Ba is with Fatha. So it will be Mabafa. Mabafa. Is how it will be pronounced. Mabafa. So this is the rulings of Quran recitation that we need to take note of. So that's why we need to know this also. So in applying these third rulings on this example, in this number 2 here, we have qa, and qa is part of the 5 letters. So initially it will not be wayaqbiduna. Rather, we'll pronounce the qa as if it has fatha. It will be wayaqa, wayaqa, wayaqbiduna aydiyahum, wayaqbiduna aydiyahum, huwa agna. Qa is part of the letters, so take note. Huwa agna wa aqa. Do you see it? Qa has sukun, but we pronounce it as if it has fatha. Wa aqna wa awfu bi ahdi. Hadithul junudi. The Hamzah will be omitted, then the lam will be inserted alongside with the ta. Hadithul junudi. Qa with sukun, part of the 5 letters. Khalaqna zawjaini. Yaqra'una kitabahum. Yaqra'una kitabahum. Afa'asayta amri. Huwa adhaka wa abka. Abe. By sukun. So we'll not say wa abka, no, but wa abka. Wa tuni muslimina kahashimil muhtadhiri. Huwa yubadi'u wa yu'idu wa karihu ridwanahu fa ahbata a'malahum wa yukhrij. Can you see it? Jim is part of the 5 letters, so it will be pronounced as wa yukhrij abghanakum, wa yukhrij abghanakum. Jim and ba are part of the 5 letters. Wa ajalibe alayhim bi khaylika wa rajilika. Qalatil a'rabu wa ishaqa wa yaquba. Khudha wa la takhaf. Aktharuhum la ya'lamuna. Wa an aqim wajhaka. Jim. Wa an aqim wajhaka. Fal yad'u nadiyahu. Waqa'atil waqi'atu. Fa'awjasa fi nafsihi firaqu bayni wa baynika. يمشي على رجلين جيم يمشي على رجلين. So inshallah I'll stop here today. So please try and take note of these 3 laws that are very, very important in Sukun. These 3 laws, especially the third one, the 5 letters. The 5 letters. And these letters, it has name in which they are being called. These 5 letters, they are called Qolqolah. These 5 letters are being called Qolqolah. Let's put down the names there. Hurufu. We call these 5 letters Huruuful-Qolqolah. Huruuful-Qolqolah. That is letters of disturbance. As if these 5 letters, they are disturbing us, because initially you're supposed to pause on these 5 letters since Sukun is on them, but rather we are not pausing. We are pronouncing them as if they have fatha, so they are like disturbing us in pronunciation. So they are called Huruuful-Qolqolah, letters of disturbance. These 5 letters, Huruuful-Qolqolah. Please let's take note of this all, as we'll be needing them in the forthcoming lessons. As this forthcoming lesson is a little bit also tough, to try to revise them as much as we could, so that it will be possible for us to learn more on this. As you can see that we have some verses from the Qur'an, from the Qur'an. These are also verses from the Qur'an, so we should try to revise the past lessons a lot before we can take them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us all, and we should not give hope. Inshallah, all will come to pass, inshallah, and it will be easy for us. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.